Hi, I'm Matt with Finance of America Mortgage, and this is Jenny Jensen.
Hi, HomeSmart Evergreen Realty. So we are talking about the 10 commandments of buying a home. These are thou shalt not. And let me tell you, from our perspective, from lending and your agent's perspective, please follow these commandments. It just makes everyone's life a lot easier, and it could really affect your chances of actually buying the home. It could, you could be in the last week and then you do one of these and it could ruin your whole loan and you could miss out on the house. So we're gonna just go through these really fast. There's 10 of them, and we're just gonna discuss how it affects the loan. Okay, so thou shalt not change jobs, become self-employed, or quit your job. Why? How does this affect the loan?
Yeah, so one of the fundamental processes or things that a lender is looking at is your ability to repay the loan. Mm-hmm. And if you quit your job, odds are you're not going to have a good likelihood of repaying your loan. Uh-huh. And if you change your job to something that's completely different than what you're doing now, or you change to part-time, there are nuances in the pre-approval process where that could ultimately disqualify you from getting a loan. Mm-hmm. And then the last one was self-employed. That's a big one too. When you're self-employed, we really need a history of self-employment. So if you just recently gone self-employed, odds are it's going to impact your qualification substantially. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So it's all about making sure that you can make those payments. So number 2, thou shalt not buy a car, truck, or van, or you may be living in it.
Yes.
Okay. So why is this such a big deal? Because I had someone buy a car the last week of escrow, and I almost had a heart attack.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot. Or people that went and got a new lease, mm-hmm. right? Because their old lease was due up in the middle of escrow. Where it becomes an issue is in your debt to income ratio. So your monthly bills compared to your monthly income. Okay. And if we've qualified you based on a certain debt to income ratio and that changes, it can throw your qualification out of whack to a point where you don't qualify for the loan anymore. So for an example, if you go out and buy a new car and now you have a new $500 a month bill every month, that impacts your debt to income ratio. Okay. And just the same, if you have a lease that you're turning in that's currently $300 a month and you go to $700 a month, that's a big jump. That's going to also impact your debt to income ratio. Mm-hmm. So again, it goes back to the ability to repay the mortgage is the underlying theme here.
Okay. So then number 3,
yes.
Thou shalt not use credit cards excessively or let current accounts fall behind.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty self-explanatory, but
yeah, we're seeing a common theme, right? The ability to repay. Mm-hmm. And if you're not making your basic credit card payments on time or student loan payments, the lender's going to have a hard time believing that you're going to make your mortgage payment on time. And if you're adding to your debt load, again, it comes back to your debt to income ratio and if you can repay the mm-hmm. loan. So yeah, there's a common theme here of repaying the loan.
Yeah, and not only that, if you're using your credit cards excessively or don't pay them, it affects your FICO scores, which yes. affects your rate.
Yes.
So, and the type of loan that you're going to get. So number 4, thou shalt not spend money you have set aside for closing costs. So we'll cover closing costs in another video, but you need to have the money to pay for closing costs. So there are different ways to go about it, but this is kind of a big deal because then you won't be able to close escrow. Yeah. You won't be able to, finalize the whole process of buying the house. Do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah, pretty straightforward. You need X amount of dollars available mm-hmm. in your bank to close escrow at the end of the process. And if you don't have that money in your bank and you can't get it from somewhere, you're not going to be able to close escrow. So yeah. It's important to have that money set aside and not use it for anything else.
Yeah, he has a better way with words than I do. Okay, so number 5, thou shalt not omit debts or liabilities from your loan application. Do you see this a lot?
Not too often, thank goodness. We're going to find it no matter what, right?
They're gonna get you.
Yeah, we're going to run credit and it's going to show up, or we're going to
mm-hmm.
look at pay stubs, or we're going to run you through a certain system that shows us just about everything that we need to know. So there's no sense in not disclosing it. We are the one person that you can disclose everything to, mm-hmm. and then we're only going to pass through what needs to go through to the bank to get your offer accepted or to get your approval done. So, we're the one that you can just spill everything out to, and then we're going to tell you, hey, how do we make this work, and what are the solutions that you need to get into the home.
Okay. And just to let you know, as a realtor and as a lender, the lender may know 100 more things about your finances than I do. Yeah. I don't want to get that deep with you because I feel like there needs to be a barrier and some boundaries of personal space. Yeah. I don't want everyone knowing my financial situations and stuff, and how much student loans I have or what my payments are. I feel like that's just personal. So Matt, as the lender, would only tell me the necessities I need in order to make it work. So, and how to make it work. So it's confidential information. And I personally I want to give you guys as much respect and space as possible. So disclose whatever you want to him. He's not going to tell me.
Yeah, there's actually financial privacy laws that don't allow me to even go there. So
there you go. I've had clients ask me like, well, what about this payment? What about that payment? And I just say, you know what? I don't, he's the financial person. I don't want to get that involved with you guys. Yeah. Not that I don't love you. I just want to give you privacy. And I also, one of the things too, is that when they go and research all your information, if you have an outstanding like credit that you didn't know about, like it could be like $300 that's outstanding, they'll help you go back and fix it. Yeah. So, and just kind of clean that up a little bit. Okay, so the next one, number 6, thou shalt not buy furniture or on credit. You guys, wait till you move into the house to actually buy furniture because you might change your mind. But also, don't buy it on credit. Don't open any credit cards. Again, it's affecting your credit score and your debt to income ratio. Yeah. And all that stuff. So your credit, how many times does your credit actually get ran in the process?
It gets ran once up front, and then they do something called a quick recheck at the very end to make sure nothing's changed. Okay. And look, I get it, right? Everybody gets excited about the new home and they want to get the furniture, and my wife would be going crazy with the credit card if she could when we buy a house. So, I understand where you're coming from, but just it's better to hold off and wait till the day we close escrow, and then you can go do whatever you want with.
Then you can do it. Yeah. You can shop like window shop and take pictures, maybe put stuff on hold, but don't actually buy it until after we close, or else you're not going to have anywhere to put the furniture.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so number 7, thou shalt not originate any inquiries into your credit. So how do credit inquiries hurt your credit and the loan in general? Yeah,
so any hard inquiries affect your credit score at the end of the day. So this is more leading up to escrow. Once you're in escrow, you still don't want to open any new accounts, but it wouldn't impact you as much as before because ultimately it can impact the rate that you're getting. If your credit score goes down after a hard inquiry, who knows, by as little as 5 points up to 20 points.
Oh, okay.
That could change the rate that you're getting. So, you just want to be careful with new credit inquiries around the time that you're going to be purchasing a home.
Okay. So don't go out and get more credit cards. Yeah. Thou shalt not change bank accounts. Why is this a big thing?
Yeah, we need a good history. We need 2 months of a bank account history. And it just honestly, it creates more work on your end, the borrower's end. Because we need to paper trail everything. Okay. All the monies that are moving around from account to account, we need bank statements on, we're going to ask questions about deposits. And so it creates more paperwork for you that's unnecessary. So it's easiest to just keep things simple. Sometimes that's out of our control, but as much as you can control it, try to just keep things simple.
Okay, so that kind of goes with the gift funds. Yeah. If you're getting gift funds for your down payment, don't have it transferred to your account, correct? To your account. I can't talk. Yeah. How would you suggest going about that?
Yeah, you could have it transferred to your account. You could have your donor write you a check. Again, it's just going to create more paperwork. The easiest way to get gift funds is to have your donor wire it directly to escrow at the close of escrow.
Okay.
So that creates the least paperwork for everybody.
Okay. And then the last one, number 10, thou shalt not co-sign a loan for anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So personally, I'm not in a position where I would co-sign for anyone in general, but there are people that have that ability. Again, it affects your credit score, correct, and your debt to income ratio, and anything else?
Yeah, main thing is the debt to income ratio. We have to
Okay.
hit you for that payment even if somebody else is paying it. There's some exceptions to that rule if we can show a really long history of the other person paying it, 12 months or more.
Okay.
We don't have to count it against you, but if you're thinking about purchasing a home, don't
Just wait till
co-sign anything.
after.
Wait till after.
Yeah. So basically everything, if you do something that are in the 10 commandments of what not to do, and I'll put a list or attachment so that you guys can read over these. But if you're doing anything, it basically affects your debt to income ratio. And we'll go over what that is exactly in another video. But it's just going to affect your ability to be able to get the lending to buy the house. So if you really want this house, don't do it. Just listen to these. Escrow is generally only 30 days. You can hold off for 1 month.
Yeah.
So, okay.